Hey guys, welcome back to Gideon Stuff, and welcome to today's video. Today's kind of an interesting one, if I say so myself. We're not going to be reviewing a knife. This is another one of those discussion videos. It's a Saturday. Um, we're going to be doing another list, and today's list is 5 things about knives that shouldn't bother me, but do anyways. So these are things that are either, just very minor complaints, or things that just don't have anything to do with the performance of the knife, or things that are just completely stupid that all drive me wild when they really shouldn't. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Um, let's start off with the first thing, which is non-reversible pocket clips. And there's some of you out there that might be saying, "Oh, that is something to be concerned about," and I think it is. But the reason that it shouldn't concern me is, I'm right-handed. Most knives come for me in the correct carry position. And I guess the reason this is number 5 is because this is something that has an actual issue for a lot of people. It's just something that shouldn't really be an issue for me. My youngest brother is left-handed, my best friend is left-handed, and my girlfriend, they're all left-handed. So there's just something about it. I pick up a knife and I'm like, "Oh, this is a really nice knife," and I'm like, "Oh, you can't switch a pocket clip," and it annoys me, even though I will never switch a pocket clip. When I got this VV Elementum, I'm like, "Oh, nice," but it bothers me that it doesn't have a reversible clip, and it really shouldn't bother me. This isn't even a completely lefty friendly knife because it is a right hand biased liner lock, but still, that's something that just kind of in the back of my mind just kind of pesters me about certain knives, and it really shouldn't because it doesn't affect me. But I'm looking out for you, lefties. I'm looking out for you, and it's something I always mention in my reviews because I do think it's important that companies include that option, but it shouldn't bother me as much as it does because it doesn't affect me. Anyways, moving on. So the next thing is something that's even stupider. It's when knives don't match on both sides, and this is something that it really does bother me. With this knife especially, where's the red stripe? It bothers me to no end, especially since this is a liner lock. Having a knife that doesn't match on both sides is pretty common with a lot of frame locks, which is why, and it does kind of bother me sometimes. And it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. It really, really shouldn't, but it does. An example of a knife that does it right that I was worried about is this guy here. This is the Best Tech Horus. As you can see, it has this carbon fiber insert. And I don't know, from pictures, for some reason, I thought that this was only on one side. Flip it over. Nope, it's on both sides. As you can see, this knife matches on both sides pretty much exactly. It has a pivot collar on both sides. It has this milled out line on both sides. It has the carbon fiber on both sides. So that's something I really, really like. And it's something I always look for in a knife. And when a knife doesn't match on both sides, it does kind of bother me. It really does. And it really shouldn't, but it does. And of course, I mean, a knife that doesn't match on both sides is not going to stop me from carrying the knife. It's just one of those things that makes me go, every once in a while I'm just like, "Oh, that kind of annoys me." But it doesn't stop me from carrying or enjoying a knife. In the case of frame locks, that's why I like bolster locks, which is ironic because I don't own any bolster locks. But I really do like the idea behind them. The next thing that bothers me that really shouldn't is knives that don't have a steel liner on one side. So especially with frame locks, if you're gonna have like a G10 carbon fiber or something on one side and then steel titanium frame lock on the other side, I like to see a steel liner. And this is probably because I grew up on a cattle ranch. I'm a hard use type of guy. I like my knives to be very solid. But I'm also a college student. And for just urban EDC, I don't need that. I really don't. This knife, I love this knife. This is the RKT Tuna. I love this knife. It doesn't need a steel liner under the G10. But it still kind of bothers me in the back of my mind that it doesn't have it. So another thing that, and it doesn't bother me with all knives. For example, The CRKT, not the CRKT. Whoops, CRKT squid. This one has my card on one side. This doesn't bother me because it's a small knife. But if it is a full size knife, I don't know. It's just something that I want to see steel on both sides or titanium or whatever it is. Next up, number 4, blade holes that aren't for deployment. And I don't think I have any knives like that in my collection because it is something that bothers me that much. But whoa. Editing Gideon here. I do actually have a knife in my collection that has a blade hole that you cannot use for deployment. And it's this. This Avivi McKenna. You cannot use this hole to deploy the knife. And as much as I love this knife, because I really do love this knife, that is something that bothers me. I don't like having a hole that I can't use. On this knife, it's not as bad as some. You know, the hole's not like out here and it's, you know, away from the edge, but it does kind of bother me. Just a little bit. All right, back to the video. You know, I love blade holes. You know, of all shapes and sizes. I love blade holes. But only if you can use them to actually deploy the knife. If they're just there for decoration, it bothers me to no end. And I'll throw up some pictures of some knives that are like that. But if I can find any. But yeah, it does bother me. Should it? No, I mean, you know, people design a knife, sometimes they want to slap a hole in it, but it does bother me a little bit when you can't use that hole to deploy the knife. I say bothers me a little bit, it actually kind of bothers me a lot. But that's me being stupid. And the last one, number 5. Knife names. I like it when knives have a name. Here's a CJRB Feldspar. I love this knife a lot. It's one of my favorite knives ever. Very comfortable, very useful, looks great. Called the Feldspar. I'm a geologist. You know, feldspars are some of the most popular or most prevalent rocks on Earth. Members of the feldspar family. And I don't know. I like knives that have a name. You know, the tuna. It's a really, really cool name. I hate it when knives just have a number. I know ZT does it a lot, and it bothers me. It really does. I wish they had more names. Here's a Ganzo FH 41. It has a number, not a name. You know, good little knife, but I do wish it had a name. Of course, FH41 isn't as bad as, you know, like ZT's 4-digit numbers, but I do like it when a knife has a name instead of numbers. And that even goes for, like, you know, Formac Scout. That's a name, even though it has a number in it. Code 4. That's a name, even though it has a number in it. 8015 light in this case, and 8015 for real. But those are both names, even though they are numbers, which sounds weird because I did complain about the FH41, but, you know, FH stands for... This is the Cold Steel 8015, and I'm sure it has a model number besides 8015. I can't remember. But, you know, something that I love is knives that have good names. The QSP Hawk. That's a cool name. I like that. I've got this here too, the QSP Pelican, or Penguin. This is the Penguin. I've never owned a Pelican. That's a cool name. Kershaw Bare Knuckle. Cool name. In fact, this knife does a lot right for me. Reversible clip, cool name, matches on both sides pretty much, besides this thing, which this doesn't bother me. Lock bars don't bother me. I just like having the same material on both sides. So, and of course, no liners at all, because it's an aluminum frame. Elementum, great name. Praxis, Horus, Paramilitary 2, Dogma. a bunch of knives. I like it when a knife has a name. So this was kind of a quick video, but you know what? I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. I've got knife content like this coming out all the time, and I would really, really love to see all of you watch the channel for a long, long time. So that's gonna be it from me. You guys have a good day.